So I picked up this KitchenAid timer. Not too bad. It does work. I've got it set for 1 minute. Now it's down to 45 seconds. What I noticed when I picked it up in the thrift store was it's not exactly light. And it's just plastic and a battery. So let's see what the weight is. 224.8 grams. Wow, that's pretty heavy for that. So what I'm going to do is tear it down, find out what they used inside here for weighting it, and we can also take a look at the electronics. And if I'm really lucky, I'll actually reassemble it and then redonate it. Let's see what the timer sounds like when the alarm goes off. Not too bad. So let's pop this open. One battery. There's 4 screws here. I know I got the right one. Come on. There we go. There's one. 2. 3. 4. Let's see, is this just going to pop out? I really had hoped. They wouldn't stick something underneath there even though they got screws there. I don't think so. I'll probably be wrong on that. Okay, just give me a moment. Since I don't want to destroy it, I've already started to pry it open. This is better. Oh, there was obviously a big clip there. There's the battery. Oh, we got 2 more screws holding this together, and there's the weight right there. As you see. Oh, those are longer. Now, if they've been doing good manufacturing, all the screws would have been identical. Cut down on one extra thing for the parts list. This is just one of those screws that does not want to comply, where the head's actually, it's already stripped. So, I'll do it off camera where I apply lots of force. So this is the type where it's going to take a lot of effort to get it out. And I'll just have to hope that in my random bin of screws, I have a replacement for this. Oh, there we go. There. It's stripped. Okay, nothing holding it there. Oh, that was just for the weight. So, let's see. For this unit, that was whatever the weight was in the corner. Oh, they've got lots of weights here. 1, 2, 3. So 117.9 grams was weights. And are these magnetic? Let's hold. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're magnetic. So we still actually haven't got to the electronics. And I don't think I'm going to be getting to the electronics on this. It looks like what they did was all the electronics are on one little piece in here, and it's just going to be a blob chip, 4 little buttons, the LCD display, and what they did was, oh, and there's the piezo alarm. Looks like what they did was they just put it down and pressure fitted it to this main piece here. Now let's just see if I can pop it open. Oh, okay. That was easier than I thought. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now that, yeah, there's not a lot here. Okay, let's just get this like that. Okay, we've got a crystal here, and hopefully I'll be able to reassemble it. We've got a zebra strip in here going to the LCD display. Now, luckily this is pretty well tight in there, so it should all realign when I try to screw it back together. Historically, I've had a horrible time of zebra strips. Usually when I touch them, things just don't work out too well, but this one actually looks like it's nicely all pre-centered. Stay down there. Oh, there we go. So there we have it. So there's a close-up. It's a blob. Let's just clean it off a tiny bit. Nope, not even cleaning. So you got a blob. You're going up to this here, which goes out to the LCD. There's the crystal over there, a couple capacitors, and the 4 push buttons. And not a lot on there. So the cute thing is how much metal they stick in it. And this just feels like straight steel, iron. Nothing like that other one, which was magnetic, but nearly not as magnetic as it should be, or attracted to the magnet. It's kind of cute that there's 3 different ones for shimming in there. So, let's see if I can put it back together now. But I'm going to do that off camera. I want to keep this video fairly short. Well, the zebra strip actually is quite nice. The pads on the circuit board are actually considerably wide. It's not one of those super tight configurations where if you're off by the tiniest bit, it doesn't work. At this point, I'm going, wait a second, I'm pretty sure I had one more screw around here. Up there it is. Now let's take it back apart. Yeah, there's 4 holes. There should be 4 screws. And does this fit back together? Yes. Woohoo! Now, you'd think those weights would have just gone in perfectly one way. No. There's actually a very slight difference between them. And even though I tried to screw it in many times, it was because the holes don't line up. So let's try it again. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, it all lines up perfectly. Excellent. And this is why you keep all the little screws. That looks like it's a close enough fit. And you probably noticed I actually broke a wire there. But, that's going to be easy enough to fix up in a moment. But yeah, having a large assortment of random screws definitely comes in handy. And there, it's back together. I will just need to do a little solder job on this one. So let's just do a quick touch-up. There we go. And it should all work now. And before you put the screws back in, and that looks like it works fine. Oops, there we go. Oh, that was a much easier way to put them back in. Okay, battery in. Has instructions there. Didn't see any date codes on it, unfortunately. So do a final test, make sure I didn't snip the wire to the piezo. It's counting down from 1 minute. Update on that clock, which I did in another video. I'll have to fix that with a bit of glue there. But I'm keeping that the way it is. That is just so handy. It's nice and bright. It's 1988-ish probably. That's why I wanted to hopefully find a date code on this, but no. But yeah, that clock is definitely not getting torn apart for pieces. Now let's see, we're down to 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It works. It gets redonated. It's amazing how little there is in these things. And it's funny that the weight, half the weight roughly, was steel. Okay, have a good one. Bye.